Have you been thinking about adventure and wanting to plan a road trip across America, but you're just not sure where to start? America has such vast landscapes, such as mountains, deserts, beaches, and forests, and it's near impossible to see it all in one trip. I'm going to give you an itinerary to be your beginner road trip guide. This itinerary will be a 3-week itinerary starting on the East Coast and going out west. It's customizable to your budget, meaning if you have a lower budget, there'll be things for you, and if your budget is on the higher end, there'll also be things for you to do. There's nothing like being on the open road. It gives you the freedom and flexibility to change your schedule if you need to change it. You'll see charming small towns, big cities, roadside attractions, and you're almost certain to come across some unexpected adventures. Now for me, I like to spend a little bit of time in each place. So technically this road trip could probably be done in 2 weeks, but I like to give it a little bit more time so you get to spend more time at each place and explore, and even that is not quite enough because you always have to go back because you've always missed something. But for the beginner, this is a perfect itinerary, and if you need to cut it shorter and leave some things out, you can do that. So let's get started on our great American adventure, the road trip. We'll be starting in Philadelphia, which is the most populous city in Pennsylvania, and it's known for its rich culture and history. So get up early, spend a few hours in the city, maybe go to Love Park, you can go to Independence Hall, you can go see the Liberty Bell, and when you're at Independence Hall, you can see where the Declaration of Independence was signed. Our next stop is Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, also known as Amish Country. It's about 64 miles from Philadelphia, or about an hour-and-a-half drive. So once you get to Amish Country, there is a visitor center you can go into. They'll give you a map and show you where everything is. You can go to local Amish markets, buy baked goods, buy meat, buy all kinds of different food and handmade items. Since you're on the road this day, this is a driving day, maybe pick up some of your snacks from the Amish market that you're going to enjoy the rest of your trip for the day, or you can stop at a gas station in the area as well. You can also spend your time just driving through Amish country and enjoying how peaceful and serene it is, and you're sure to see the famous horse and buggy. Your next stop will be Hershey, Pennsylvania, and Hershey's Chocolate World. Hershey, Pennsylvania is located about 34 miles from Lancaster County, which is about a 40-minute drive. You can go in Hershey Chocolate World and stock up on your favorite chocolates, maybe buy a souvenir, or just have a look around. If you don't have the budget to spend much of anything or anything at all, there is a free ride inside that shows how the chocolate is made, the chocolate making process, and you can go in, and then it's about 10 minutes long, and you get a free piece of chocolate at the end. It's only a mini bar, but you still get a free piece of chocolate. This is my kids' favorite place to stop on road trips. We've gone twice, and every time we go on a road trip, they ask me if we can go back. Now, you'll be staying the night in Cleveland, Ohio. You'll be staying for 2 nights so you can explore. Cleveland, Ohio is known for its beautiful Lake Erie waterfront. On day 2, you're going to get up and go take a tour of the Christmas Story house. If you are a millennial or older, you've most likely seen the movie The Christmas Story. It was from the 80s. You can actually go to the house and take a tour. This house is located in Cleveland, so you won't have to go very far. It's a really cool little tour. You get to see the inside of the house, and then you get to go over to the museum that holds actual things that they used in the movie. This is an expensive thing to do. It is $20 a ticket for 5 and older. So if you don't have the budget for that, don't worry, I've got something else that you can do. Cuyahoga Valley National Park is about 30 minutes south of Cleveland and is completely free. They do not charge an entrance fee or parking. This national park is known for its abundance of waterfalls and has over 125 miles of hiking trails. So you could easily spend a day here. So on day 2, if you don't have the money to do the Christmas Story House, just come here. My kids loved it. They love seeing the waterfalls, and there's a ledges hike that the kids absolutely adored. And I will say, if you can do both, go to the Christmas Story House and go to the national park because it's completely worth it. We had an awesome time here. On day 3, you'll wake up and hit the road for the windy city of Chicago. The drive from Cleveland to Chicago is about 5.5 hours. Now, if you get up early enough, you'll be able to get to Chicago and explore a little bit before it gets dark. There's plenty to do in the city, such as enjoying the view on the Riverwalk or going to Millennium Park and getting a photo while you're touching the bean. You can also go to the Navy Pier and ride the Ferris wheel and the other attractions that are there. And don't forget to grab a slice of deep dish Chicago style pizza. Now, you'll be staying in Chicago for the night. If you don't want to stay in the city, there are places outside of the city you can stay to save a little bit of money. On day 4, you'll be traveling to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is named for the Sioux Indians and the falls on the Big Sioux River. Now, on your way to Sioux Falls, you can stop in at Mirror Lake State Park to use the restroom and take in the scenic views. It's in the Wisconsin Dells area. Another stop along the way is in Blue Earth, Minnesota at the Jolly Green Giant Museum. It boasts a huge Jolly Green Giant statue and an indoor museum that is totally free and pet friendly. Twice when we've gone to Sioux Falls, we have stayed at the Ramada by Wyndham in Sioux Falls. It has a nice little water park inside, and the kids absolutely love it. The price is very reasonable as well, and it's great for the winter because it's indoors so they can still swim. Park in Sioux Falls, which is named for the Sioux tribe and because it's on the Big Sioux River. They have trails, obviously waterfalls, there's a visitor center. On Saturdays they have a farmer's market, and at the holidays they turn it into a winter wonderland. So stop in for a few hours and hang out before you get on the road for your next stop. The next stop is Rapid City, South Dakota, which is about 347 miles west of Sioux Falls. On the way to Rapid City, you will stop at the Chamberlain Rest Area to see the one-of-a-kind Dignity statue and also explore all the interactive activities inside the rest area. It is pet friendly and the restrooms are always clean. On top of that, they have walking paths, they have a scenic overlook, and shaded picnic areas. It's a great place to get out and make your lunch. This is what we normally do when we're going through. We get out here, get our cooler out, and make us sandwiches and just have our lunch and do a little walk and let the kids play around for a little bit. And the visitor center also has a gift shop and brochures. And last time we were there, they gave all the kids coloring books. So it's a nice stopover. Now you can either stay in Custer or Rapid City. When we stay in Rapid City, we stay at one of the KOAs. We have stayed at the Mount Rushmore KOA, and we have also stayed in the Rapid City KOA. They have pools, they have a general store, hot tub, laundry, all of that stuff. We have stayed in an RV once, and we also stayed in one of these camp cabins once. It's a cheaper alternative because Rapid City can be kind of pricey. In Custer, you can stay at the Rock Crest Lodge and Cabins. They also have an outdoor pool, They are a little bit more expensive. We stayed here once and accidentally booked the wrong room, and there was only one bed. So my mother-in-law actually stayed in the cabin, and we went across the street to the Best Western. Now, the Best Western, as I said, is right across the street, and they do have an indoor pool, and it was a really nice room, no complaints, and budget friendly. On day 6, you will get up and head to Badlands National Park, which will be about 45 minutes to an hour and a half depending on where you're staying. Badlands National Park is known for its rugged landscape and rock formations. There are numerous hiking trails and plenty to explore. You could spend 2 or 3 days here, honestly. It's one of our absolute favorite places to go so far in America that we've been to. We have been to the Badlands National Park in about every season, and there's just no bad time to go. In the winter, obviously, the visitor center will be closed, but otherwise it's great no matter when you go. You can do the scenic drive, the loop road, which is about 39 miles long, but we only do some of it when we go. Or you can just get out and explore and take your time, because there's so much here. There's abundant wildlife as well. There's just so much to do here that you could easily spend your whole day. After spending some time at Badlands National Park, you can head on over to the town of Wall, where you can visit Wall Drug. Now, Wall Drug started out as a small pharmacy in the 30s that gave free ice water to travelers. Now it's turned into what I like to call a tourist trap, because you basically go and they have all kinds of stores and shops, and everything is pretty overpriced, and it's just not what it was before, I guess. On day 7, you'll head over to Mount Rushmore. Now, they don't have an entrance fee, but there is a $20 parking fee. So Mount Rushmore is obviously very famous. Most people know South Dakota has Mount Rushmore, and that's about all they know about South Dakota. There are walking trails here as well. Actually, I think there's just one walking trail. But also, if you can go at night, that is one of the best things to do, because they do a lighting ceremony and they sing America the Beautiful, and it's just something magical about it. When we were there, everybody was singing along, and it just makes you feel good, or it made me feel good anyway. You don't do the trails at night because they're closed at that point, but Mount Rushmore is a must-do on your day 6 itinerary. After Mount Rushmore, or before Mount Rushmore if you go at night, head over to Custer State Park. Custer State Park is known for its abundance of wildlife. If you go on the wildlife loop, there are bison, there are burros or donkeys, and there are prairie dogs. We have seen deer, we have seen rabbits, we have seen turkeys, we've seen all kinds of stuff on the wildlife loop. Now, if you go in the winter time, you probably won't see much of anything. There is a visitor center with nice clean restrooms and stuff to do in the visitor center as well. And then you can head over to Sylvan Lake. There's a hike around the lake that we've done, and it's really beautiful. The lake itself is beautiful. You can kayak, you can swim if you go at the right time of year. And there's a few other lakes. This is Center Lake. We went there and we went swimming there because Sylvan Lake was way too crowded on the day we were there, so we drove around and found this lake and just had the best time. We took our cooler and had lunch because they have picnic tables. And then you can also do the drive, the Needles Highway. It's a scenic drive with winding roads and beautiful scenery. There's scenic overlooks you can stop and pull off at and get amazing pictures and climb on the rocks and just enjoy it all. Custer State Park is about 71,000 acres, and it's actually one of the largest and most diverse state parks in America. These are some of the needles, and then My kids just love climbing the rocks. Just be careful. I promise he wasn't going to fall off. There wasn't like a dramatic drop on the other side. Sylvan Lake was actually my favorite, and I wish we could have gone swimming and played in that lake, but we'll try to go back at another time when it's not so crowded and do that. We got to climb on the rocks and do the hike, and that was great. On day 7, you'll be heading to Salt Lake City, but on the way, you'll make a few stops. The first stop would be Wyoming Territorial Prison Historic Site. Now, they do offer tours here. Adults are $9, and kids between 12 and 17 are $4.50, and kids under that age are free. There's also another prison you can visit on the way, and it's called the Wyoming Frontier Prison, and they offer tours as well. Adults are $15, children 6 to 12 are $12. Now, we stopped here, and we actually didn't do a tour. We just kind of looked around inside and outside, and so we didn't pay any money. We actually had a really good and weird time here. We actually were able to get really close to a deer, and the kids got to see it close up. We also found $200 lying outside. We took it inside to see if it belonged to anybody before, taking it, I guess. And then we also found an injured bird that we had to help. So we had a bit of an adventure at this prison, but we did not pay any money. We didn't do the tour, but we still had a good time here. Now you'll be arriving in Salt Lake City and staying for 2 nights to do some exploring. Salt Lake City is known for its rich religious history and beautiful landscape. This is a vibrant place with lots to offer inside and outside of the city. We have stayed at Airbnbs, and we've also stayed at the Hyatt Place Hotel by the airport. On day 9, you can go visit Temple Square, and you can also take a free guided tour here. And then you can go into the city and grab yourself some food. We actually ate at the restaurant we ate at was called Zest, and they had some good vegan options for me. And then you can head over to the Great Salt Lakes. Now, this place is really unique because it looks like a mirror, honestly. You can access the lake through Great Salt Lake State Park or Antelope Island State Park. And we just got in a little bit. We got our feet in and maybe up to our ankles, but it's really hard to be fully submerged because of the high salt content. So we just went and enjoyed the overlook and got in the water a little bit. On day 10, you'll be driving down to Moab, Utah, which is about a 3.5-hour drive southeast, and you'll be staying there for 3 nighs. Now, we've stayed there in an RV. We've done RV camping, and we stayed at a hotel. This was the RV we stayed at. It was just a stationary one that we rented via Airbnb. And this was our view from our RV. So we stayed here as our base for Arches and Canyonland. Now, Arches National Park is probably one of our top 5 favorite parks to go to. It boasts the world's largest concentration of natural sandstone arches. And we've been here 2 times, and we've done a few of the hikes, but we want to keep going back and exploring more and more because that's how much we love it here. I always recommend getting an America the Beautiful Pass, which allows you access to all the national parks and monuments, and it lasts for a year, and it costs $80 for a one-time fee. But if you don't have one of those, it'll cost you between $15 and $30 to enter here. Now, Arches in the peak season will have timed entry, so you have to reserve a spot online and come between the times that you're assigned. In the off season, like the winter, they don't do that, and it's less crowded as well. So we like it at any time, honestly, but the winter is very laid back and not as crowded, and Arches can get very hot in the summer, so just make sure you plan for that as well. Last time we were around this area in the summer, it was gonna be like 105 degrees in Arches National Park, so we just skipped it because we just didn't want to be sweltering. I am a winter traveler. I like traveling in the winter because I like snow, and we just don't get it here in the South. But everyone's different, so do what works for you. So on day 12, you will be visiting Utah's largest national park, which is Canyonlands National Park. It is known for its colorful canyons, mesas, arches, and spires. It's absolutely stunning. However, we didn't get to explore a whole lot of it because when we were there, we got a snowstorm and we had to get out of there because the driving was not going to be safe. There are 78 designated trails in Canyonlands, so along with all the scenery and all the scenic overlooks, you could easily spend 2 or 3 days here, but we're only doing 1 day. Make sure you check the weather because, as I said, when we were there, we got snow and we had to get out of there, and it could be sweltering 1 day as well, so just check the weather before you go. Have time, make sure you get over to Dead Horse Point State Park. We stumbled upon this. We didn't actually look it up. We found it when we were driving, and it's actually really beautiful, and you can get a view of the Colorado River and the canyons together, and it's just amazing. We did about a 2-mile hike in the snow with kids, and we survived, and they all had a lot of fun anyway. The smallest one was ready to be done when we were about halfway through. It does cost $20 to get in, $20 per car, so just keep that in mind as well. But in my opinion, it's completely worth it. On day 13, you'll be traveling to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and you'll be staying for 2 nights. On day 14, you'll get up and go explore Old Town Albuquerque. This is a little town that has restaurants and boutiques, and you can honestly just walk around and enjoy the quaint little town. You can go in and look around without buying anything, or if you want to buy something, obviously you can do that too. We enjoyed just walking around. I think the kids all got one thing from like a souvenir from there. And then we went into the Breaking Bad candy store. Now, if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, you will like Albuquerque because they have filming locations from the show. And this is Walter White's house. Obviously, they have it blocked off because they had a lot of people, I guess, disturbing them. But this is the house they used for Walter White. You can also see Jesse Pinkman's house, and you can go to the car wash that was in the show as well. We actually got our car washed at the car wash because we needed it anyway. And then after you're done with all your Breaking Bad attractions, you can head over to Petroglyph National Monument, which is home to one of the largest petroglyph sites in North America. There's a little hike. You can go up to the top and get a view of the town, and we took a lot of pictures of the petroglyphs and tried to figure out what they meant, but it's free and you can just go explore a little bit. On day 15, you'll be driving to Oklahoma City, which is about 540 miles from Albuquerque. Now on the way, there's one thing I have for you to stop and do. In Santa Rosa, New Mexico, there is the Blue Hole, and it's open for recreational swimming for a small fee. You can also scuba dive, but that costs more and you have to do more to be able to do that. But you could stop in and take a dip and then get back on the road. When you get to Oklahoma City, make sure you stop at the Press for some good Southern comfort food. On day 16, you'll be driving to Memphis, Tennessee. It's about a 460-mile drive, about 6.5 hours. Staying for 2 nights. And so the next day, on day 17, you can go visit one of the most famous places in Memphis, which is Graceland, the home of Elvis Presley. Now, it's quite expensive, so if you don't have the budget for it, just don't do it. We did it. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I would go back again. It felt very rushed and just crowded, and I felt like I couldn't enjoy it. If you do decide to go, they'll give you headphones with John Stamos narrating the different parts of the house as you move through. If you don't want to pay for Graceland, you can also go to the Crystal Shrine in Memphis. It's located in a cemetery, and it is the only man-made crystal cave in the world. It's fun to go in and look around, and the outside area is pretty nice, and you could basically go and have a picnic, though you wouldn't spend a whole lot of time here, I guess. We were here for about an hour, I'd say, and this is where we kind of stopped, had a look around, got our stuff out of our cooler and made sandwiches because this was a driving day for us. But if you're just exploring, take your time and wander around. Now, you can also go to the visitor center in Memphis and get a picture. And you can also go inside the visitor center and look around a little bit. And there is a tower you can climb, but I think it costs money. But there's a tower you can climb to the top and get a view out of the city. We didn't do that. We saw it there, but we didn't have time to do it. The Civil Rights Museum is also located in Memphis, and you can go visit that if you like. But again, it's a little bit pricey, especially if you have a large family. But it is there if that's something you're wanting to do. On day 18, you'll be driving to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's a charming little mountain town with lots of cute shops and restaurants in the downtown area. It is also close to Pigeon Forge, which is the home of Dollywood. On your way to Gatlinburg, make sure you stop in Nashville and maybe visit the Country Music Hall of Fame, or one of the many plantations that are actually in Nashville. And you can also grab some really good food while you're there. Also visit the Parthenon. And just keep in mind, I'm giving you multiple things that you can do. You probably won't have time to do them all, but you can pick. You can go to the Belle Meade Historic Site, which is like a plantation in Nashville, and you can explore the grounds there. You can do guided tours that cost money if you prefer. And you can also go to Fort Nagy, which gives you got a little bit of a hike up, and you can see the view of Nashville, and it's really nice, and it's free as well. There is a gift shop and visitor center there, but it was closed when we were there. So Fort Negley, sorry I said Nagy before, but it has remnants from the Civil War that you can go up and look at. And it's very interesting. It was really hot that day, but it's very interesting, and it's a nice little stop. You'll be staying for 2 nights in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge if you rather stay there. Like I said, you can, when you stay the next day when you get up, which will be day 19 on our trip, you can go and explore the city of Gatlinburg, or you can start out in Dollywood if you have the budget for it, and then after Dollywood, come back and explore the city at night. Dollywood is a fun experience if you can do it. If not, there's so much more to do in Gatlinburg. A lot of it does cost money, but there's also lots of trails and hikes and climbing on rocks that you can do. And if you go to downtown Pigeon Forge, they have a lot of museums, and they have a wax museum and things like that you can do, but they do cost money. On day 20, you will drive to the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., which is about a 7.5-hour drive. On your way, you can stop at Luray Caverns in Virginia. Just be aware that the price is a bit substantial, so if you don't want to stop there, then there's other places you can stop along the way to get out and stretch. You will visit Washington, D.C. You can visit the National Mall, go to the Lincoln Memorial, maybe visit the White House if you can schedule that. If you go in March or April, you can see the beautiful cherry blossoms as well. Traffic in D.C. can be a nightmare. I would recommend staying outside of the city as well, just because it costs so much to stay in D.C. itself. And then you can hop on over to Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. There's a nice visitor center with clean restrooms, and it's a nice walk around to have a look at everything. While we were there was actually a service going on further away, but we could still kind of see. It's a bit somber, but we also walked up to the Eternal Flame and the graves of John F. Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy. It was sweltering hot when we were there, but we went and saw it, and then we got back on the road because it was a driving day for us. You can either choose to stay another night or go ahead and drive back over to Philadelphia because it is only a 3.5-ish hour drive. That's it for our 3-week itinerary for beginners. And I hope that I've inspired you to take the plunge and get out there and travel and see what all our country has to offer. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more of the itinerary or planning videos, like and subscribe, and also leave me a comment and let me know what you'd like to see or what you'd like me to plan. Until next time, happy travels.